So I'm back home and I'm doing this a little bit out of order, but that first night that I was at the cabin, I got a little bit, let's say, surprised when I went and I checked the trail cams. And I'm going to show you that right after this little segment. To say that I was on edge the entire time I was up there would be an understatement. And I hope that didn't come across that way, but what I saw and what you're about to see, it should startle you. It startled me. I've never seen anything like it, and you'll know exactly what I mean. So enjoy the trail cam pictures that are about to come up and know that I made it home safe and alive. Woohoo, we're back. And by we, I mean me and Charlie. It's actually Wednesday evening, and I'm going to spend 4 or 5 days up here. I do have to work all day tomorrow, but I will sit down after that and kind of give you an update on what we're going to be working on. But I brought about 80 gallons of water to fill my tank. I fixed that blown pipes inside the hot water heater, and I'll kind of show you some videos of that. But uh-oh, Charlie's going after something. We better see. Okay, there was about 6 or 8 deer just right down here that she decided to go after. So it's gonna be a great weekend. I'll fill you in on everything as we go. Sorry to break this up like I just did, but when Charlie takes off like that, I normally pay pretty close attention because it could be a bear. So we'll just talk to you tomorrow, but have a great night. You can see I brought the four-wheelers out too, but this is how we fill the water tank. It's a 55-gallon plastic barrel there, and I just hook a hose up and it goes downhill enough that it drains right into our tank down here. And I've also got 21 more gallons of water down here by the door that I'll get that poured in as well. But this thing is about 3/4 full now. I'm sure some of it was rain, but I've been bringing water in every time I come down. So we will be great to take a shower once I get my hot water heater hooked up and make sure that it's not leaking anymore. So a quick little update on my hot water heater underneath here. I'll share with you some still pictures of what was wrong with the hot water heater. And if you look down, no more drips going on anymore. But I'll show you how I fixed that or explain how I fit it with some stills. So here you can see one of the tubes is blown out on the side, and here's another one with a split in it. So what I did is I put a bunch of solder using a blowtorch to fill in the holes that were in there, and it sealed up nicely. But if you want to see, look at this. Yes, sirree. Nice hot water going on again, so showers are back in store, and I don't even have to worry about leaky hot water heaters anymore. So a quick little update. I finished a full day of work out here, and everything seemed to go well with my internet and stuff, using my phone as a hotspot. I actually pay for a little bit of extra service for that with T-Mobile, and it seems to work really, really well, especially with my range extender. But by the end of the day, I'm a little bit under the weather, not feeling 100%. So I'm gonna try to get to bed really early. I thought I'd get some work done this afternoon, and it's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna get to bed super early, do a little bit of work really early in the morning tomorrow, and then see if I can't get to moving some logs around and getting some work done. So stay tuned, we'll see how I do. Charlie and I just had dinner on the deck on an absolute amazing evening. It's probably 70 degrees, light breeze, beautiful sunset. We're just gonna sit here and enjoy the evening, get to bed early, and get to work early tomorrow morning. Good night, everyone. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. We'll start where we left off last night. Me and Charlie on the deck, and this is our sunrise. Amazing. It's going to be a great day. It's a lot cooler today than it was yesterday, so it'll be a great day to get some work done, move some logs around, cut some trees down, and keep working on the log cabin. Well, good morning. I already said that with the beautiful sunrise we had, but now I'm finally getting back to work on the cabin, and my two primary goals today are going to be to knock down probably 4 or 5 different dead trees that are around the cabin area so I can make more logs out of them and get the base of the cabin, at least the 4 first run logs down. I did bring up some additional concrete blocks so that I can have 4 blocks in each corner so it secures it a little bit better, but that's going to be the start. First things first though, I need to sharpen my chainsaw if I'm going to be doing a bunch of logging today. All right, now get a little bar oil, a little gas on it, and we're good to go. And let's start cutting some trees. So let's talk about a couple of these trees real quick. So here's where the log cabin's going to go. And in relation to my woodshed and the cabin, here's where we're going to be. So if we look around and we look up, you can see big dead tree there, across over there, 4 more right here, and they're all right here where the cabin's going to sit. So we're going to start with I don't know which one. Some of them, I don't know. I would think this one though, look at how it leans. I'm gonna have to tie that one off and pull it with the come along to put tension on it so it doesn't end up falling backwards where it shouldn't. So let's get started. Well, this is the only one I'm going to show you today, just so you can see what it's like. And you got to be extra careful when you're alone. I mean, it's just me and Charlie out here, and we're 40, 50 miles from the nearest town or emergency room or anything. So what I've done is I've tied the big tree I'm cutting off to a smaller tree over here. I have a come along attached, and I've got a little bit of tension on it now. I'm going to cut my notch first. I'll tighten it up some even more until I start to hear a little bit of crack. Then I'll go do my back cut to make sure it falls this way. And my camera could be in danger here if it decides to fall towards the lean, which is kind of this way. So we're going to do our best here to be safe first and foremost, and then get this thing to fall where it's supposed to be. And as soon as I start the chainsaw up to Charlie, who's standing right here beside me, she'll head for the cabin. She doesn't like the chainsaw and the noise of it, so she'll get the heck out of here. So let's knock this big first one down. Man, that thing is leaning the wrong way. Whew! Tighten her up. And stay out of the path of it dropping. I got a ton of tension on that thing right now, so staying away from the fall line. Now, the tree's actually bending. Do our back cut. Perfect fall, exactly where I wanted to go. I knew it would kind of tip away from my cord, and it did, or our tension cable. All right, one down. I'm gonna do 4 more right back here, and then we'll call it good, and we'll get to work on the cabin and building some logs. All right, it's all limbed up into one big long straight piece. Interestingly enough, this tree actually split into 2 at the top, so I had to kind of trim that down. But this leaves me enough to make a 12 and a 14 footer. So I'm going to right now measure out my 12-foot piece, and the diameter at this end is 12 inches, which is what the other piece is going to be. Now I need to go a little over 12 feet. So here is 12 and a half feet right here. I'm gonna mark it with this. And now I will cut it right there. I'll have 1 more of my end logs, and then I'll use this up here for a 14 footer. Double measure though. Yep, 12 and a half feet to right there. Gives me 6 inches of cleanup on the other end. I know I'm gonna be bad when I do this. I'm not gonna put my ear protection on, but it's gonna be quick. So there was a tree right there, remember? And now, pretty much all cleaned up. There's my 2 long ones right by where the cabin's gonna be. And there was where I had it tied off, so it looks pretty clean, but this is what I've been dealing with all day. So we've been having thunderstorms rolling through and super high winds, no rain yet, but don't know if you could hear that, but we're expecting another one. So my plan now is to make my way down there. You see proximity, and I'm going to drag those up this way and try to drop them right beside where the new cabin's going to go. So let's get started and see how it goes. Where are you going? So we're going to try a little different 4-wheeler this time. This is actually my buddy's, and we're going to use this and see if it'll be able to pull it. It's only a 2-wheel drive. My white one, my 4-wheel drive, it's got a flat tire. It's back home. So I'm waiting for the new tires to come in for me to fix it. So let's give this one a try. It worked, perfect. So we're gonna do this to the rest of these. Smaller ones I think I can carry, but we're gonna get these all up there at very least. Hopefully we can beat this storm that's brewing in the west before it gets here. Well, we didn't quite make it. Starting to rain, so I had to bring everything in for now. That's looking straight west, and you can see the wind coming up and hearing it, but the rain's coming too. So we'll go inside for a few minutes and just chill. Got a short break, just enough to get all the logs up. All right, here's the damage for the day. Logs are all up here, and this has been rough. So with the rain and stuff, it's been kind of off and on, but 1, 2, oh, you can't see the other one. 3, there's one more I knocked down, but look at this pile and this mess. I got 1, 2, 3, this will be 4, 5, 6 more to peel now because of it. And then tomorrow, my plan is to take this guy down and that guy down. So it'll be a total of 6 that'll get out of here. And then I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna show you one other thing. Last thing I'll show you tonight, and a big shout out to my neighbor, who I won't use his name because he's apparently, you know, sought after in 4 different states. Not really, just kidding. Thank you. Gave me a bunch of leftover wood. He's been building a house out here, he and his wife, and he gave me this. And so now I have a roof and a floor for my cabin when I get it done. So I got to store that away until it's time to start using it. But hey, thanks again. That just meant a bunch to me that you'd give it to me, and especially coming on over and helping me unloading it and getting it stacked up. Appreciate it. How about some pan-seared venison backstrap cooked in garlic butter with garlic mashed potatoes? It's going to be good, and it's the way to end the night. So somebody else is also going to get her share, and I'm going to make up a plate for her right now. But with that, Charlie and I will wish you a good night. Well, good morning. Beautiful day here. You can hear the birds are just chirping like crazy out there. Charlie's sniffing around. This morning we had just right back here about 4 or 5 deer just standing there looking at us and wandering around. And it's been just absolutely an amazing couple of days, but I'm gonna have to cut it short. I've been feeling a little under the weather, and I'm gonna get packed up and head for home. So today's gonna be about cleanup, organize, get ready for the next trip out there. So I'll give you a brief recap of the events here in a few minutes, and once I've got the place cleaned up. And oh, sounds like somebody's down there digging around. Go get him, Charlie. All right, I got to do some figuring on this tree. It's almost a 14-inch diameter at the base, and that's too big. So I'm going to have to go up a few feet and cut, but here's my trouble. As we come this way up this tree, can probably see it curves off to the right quite a bit. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to take it right to the curve where all that pile of wood is, or I'm sorry, sticks, and cut it there. And this is really the last cutting I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna try to get this down or cut up and then stack these logs that I've cut over the last couple of days. You can see I've got the other logs cut right there. And this is where it's all gonna be. So let's get to it, get this thing wrapped up, and let's get home. All right, let's see how much straightness we have here. How many feet? Okay, this is 25 feet right here, which is not enough. I need 26 to do a 12 and a 14. Which right about here is where that tree starts to turn on me a little bit. So I think we'll take it a couple of feet beyond there. I'm gonna cut it, do my initial cut right here. I guess I'm gonna have to use that big fat end. That is not gonna be easy to carry around though, that's for damn sure. All right, well. Let's get this done. Well, there's my two big pieces. Now I gotta move them, I guess. All I have is this crowbar to help move this, and I don't think that's gonna do it. Maybe it will. I'm gonna have to get one of those bars you use to roll the logs. Didn't think I'd need one, but for guys this size, definitely need one. So I got to get this one off and over the top here, and I'll try to get them all laid out next to each other. So next time I'm out, I can start doing some, sorry, lost my breath. Part of it's not feeling well. The other part is the altitude, and I'm old. But I got to do some peeling next time I'm here, I guess. Well, I'm not strong enough to drag these things up, so isn't this why we have machines? Hopefully it doesn't snap when I'm doing this. Go all cleaned up from all the trees that I took down, and that was, I only ended up taking 5 down, and I wish I could explain how hard it is to clean these things up, limb them, and clean my area. It's brutal, but this part's done. Next time I'm going to take down these 2 trees. Oh, there's Charlie. Hi, Char. These 2 right here will fell, clean those up, and then maybe we can get back to this. But I didn't really intend on being a lumberjack this weekend. It just turned out to be that way. So I got to go do one more thing today, and that's go put all that wood away, that particle board that my neighbor gave me. So we're going to walk over, clean out underneath the cabin, make a nice stack of wood that can stay dry that will be used for the roof and the floor. Remember last night, me and the neighbor piled up all those sheets of particle board? Well, I'll show you what I did with them, and that was the last job of the day. We took them from here all piled up. Oh, butterflies. And I reorganized everything under here. So there's the particle boards, all my spare wood, and some of my spare plumbing. So it is done now for the summer until I need to start pulling all that wood out. Woohoo, another project. Well, there you go. That wraps up another trip out here, and it was a tough one this time. You know, we cut down, 5 trees and had to limb them up. Brought all of the logs over, worked on the house a little bit, cleaned some stuff up, brought, 80 gallons of water out here with me as well. So happy with the progress. Would have liked to stay another day, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to work out okay for us. So anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate you being here. And you never know if you can do it until you try. And that's what I'm doing with this log cabin. I'm just going to try and try to figure it out. So until next time, do it yourself.